It is the world's oldest and largest monolithic statue, a silent guardian carved from the living bedrock of the Giza Plateau. For more than 4.5 millennia, according to the history books, the Great Sphinx has watched empires rise and fall, its gaze fixed on the eastern horizon, waiting for a dawn that has come and gone thousands of times. For centuries, it has guarded its secrets. Mainstream Egyptology tells us it was carved by the pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BC, a monument to a powerful king. But is that the whole story? The stone itself seems to tell a different tale, a tale of immense water erosion, not from the Nile's floods, but from rainfall. Torrential rains that haven't fallen in this part of the world for more than 7,000 years. This controversial theory suggests the Sphinx is thousands of years older than we're told, a relic from a lost chapter of human history, a time before the pharaohs, before the pyramids, a time of a forgotten civilization with knowledge and abilities that rival our own. This idea has been fiercely debated and often dismissed by the academic establishment. But the questions remain, etched into the very rock of the monument. The mystery deepens with the prophecies of the American psychic Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet. In the 1930s, Cayce claimed that beneath the paws of the Sphinx lay a hidden chamber, a hall of records, containing the complete history of humanity, including the story of the lost continent of Atlantis. A fringe theory, perhaps. But what if he was right? What if the true purpose of the Sphinx wasn't to guard a tomb, but to mark the location of the greatest library in human history? This tantalizing possibility has driven explorers and researchers for decades. In the 1990s, a series of seismic surveys and ground-penetrating radar scans were conducted around the Sphinx. The results were astonishing. They revealed several anomalies and cavities deep in the bedrock beneath the monument, including a large rectangular chamber located precisely where Cayce predicted, near the front paws. But just as the world held its breath, the investigations were shut down. The Egyptian authorities, led by the formidable Dr. Zahi Hawass, declared the area off-limits. The official explanation was that the anomalies were simply natural fissures in the rock. The project was halted, the data was classified, and a wall of silence was erected. But why? What did they find that they didn't want the world to see? We've spent years digging through declassified reports, forgotten archives, and whistleblower testimony to piece together what happened next. The story doesn't end with the official shutdown. It goes deeper. Deep beneath the ancient stone lies a mystery that scientists, explorers, and even governments have tried to keep hidden. We've heard the official story and we've heard the theories. What do you believe is the true age of the Sphinx? Let us know in the comments, because tonight we move beyond theory. We present shocking new evidence of a secret excavation, a hidden tunnel that was explored long after the official investigations were closed. A tunnel that doesn't lead to a natural fissure, but to something else entirely. Something that could validate the wildest theories and force us to rewrite the very first chapter of human history. What if the greatest library in history wasn't in Alexandria but a repository of knowledge far older and more profound? This is the promise of the legendary Hall of Records. According to esoteric traditions, this isn't just a collection of scrolls, it's a complete archive of a highly advanced antediluvian society. Many believe this lost civilization was Atlantis, and that its survivors, foreseeing their doom, created a time capsule to preserve their legacy for a future generation. The figure often credited with this monumental task is Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, writing, and magic. He was the divine scribe, the keeper of secrets, and the architect of this sacred vault of knowledge. The whispers of this hidden chamber are not confined to myth, they echo through the annals of history. The Greek historian Herodotus, writing in the 5th century BCE, described vast underground chambers he was told were built by the original kings to house their historical records. While he placed these near Lake Moeris, proponents believe he may have been describing a similar complex at Giza. Later writers, like the 4th century philosopher Iamblichus, also wrote of secret vaults filled with sacred texts penned by Hermes, the Greek equivalent of Thoth. These accounts paint a consistent picture. The ancient world was convinced that Egypt was the guardian of a profound hidden truth. But what about the Egyptians themselves? While no known text explicitly names a hall of records under the Sphinx, papyri like the West Kar papyrus are filled with tales of magicians who knew of secret chambers and hidden books of power. These stories reveal a culture deeply invested in the idea of concealed knowledge. Could the most important secret have been left unwritten, passed down only through oral tradition? The clues are tantalizingly vague, like puzzle pieces scattered across millennia. What do you think? Are these ancient accounts proof or just myth? Let us know your theories in the comments below. The search took a dramatic turn in the 20th century with an American psychic named Edgar Cayce. Known as the Sleeping Prophet, Cayce claimed in his trances that the records of Atlantis were stored in a hidden chamber at Giza. He was remarkably specific, stating the entrance lay beneath the right paw of the Great Sphinx. He prophesied it would be discovered between 1996 and 1998, heralding a new age of enlightenment. Cayce's predictions transformed an ancient legend into a modern quest, focusing the world's attention squarely on the secrets of the Sphinx. Suddenly, the Sphinx was no longer just a monument, it was a signpost, a lock waiting for a key. This colossal statue, a hybrid of man and lion, has guarded the Giza Plateau for millennia. But what is it guarding? The tombs of the pharaohs or something far more significant? The convergence of ancient myth, historical accounts, and modern prophecy created an irresistible mystery, placing the Sphinx at the heart of one of archaeology's greatest enigmas. The stage was set for explorers to test these extraordinary claims. In the late 20th century, researchers used seismic scanning to map the bedrock beneath the Sphinx. The results? Strange geometric cavities, perfectly rectangular chambers, where only solid stone should exist. Yet almost immediately, these findings were locked away. Requests for further excavation were mysteriously denied. Documents went missing. Some insiders claim the discovery was deemed too explosive to reveal to the public. What could be hidden down there? Some believe it's the lost history of Atlantis. Others suspect evidence of advanced technology, proof that ancient Egypt was far more sophisticated than we imagine. Advanced ground-penetrating radar is giving us fresh ways to peer beneath the sands, hinting at hidden chambers. But without official permission to excavate, the full truth of what lies beneath the Sphinx remains sealed. For millennia, the Great Sphinx has stood as a silent sentinel on the Giza Plateau, the world's oldest and greatest enigma. Throughout our journey, we have peeled back the layers of sand, myth, and dogma to confront the profound questions it poses. We've walked the line between accepted history and forbidden archaeology, questioning the very timeline of human civilization. We've examined the deep vertical scars in its limestone enclosure, evidence of rainfall and water erosion that tells a story of a lush green Sahara, and a sphinx that could be thousands of years older than the pharaohs credited with its creation. We've looked to the heavens, tracing the celestial blueprint etched into the desert floor, the Orion correlation theory, a grand cosmic clock that suggests the entire Giza complex was designed to mirror the sky in 10,500 BC. We've delved into the strange and compelling prophecies of Edgar Cayce, who spoke of a lost hall of records hidden beneath the monument's right paw, a chamber containing the wisdom of a highly advanced antediluvian civilization, the survivors of Atlantis, a repository of knowledge that could rewrite everything we know about our past. Yet for every tantalizing clue, we've encountered a wall of resistance. We've seen how modern technology, from seismic surveys to ground-penetrating radar, has repeatedly detected cavities and anomalies precisely where Cayce predicted, only for further exploration to be mysteriously blocked or indefinitely postponed. The official narrative remains as solid as the limestone from which the Sphinx was carved. Is this merely cautious preservation of a priceless World Heritage Site? Or is it a deliberate effort to protect a fragile historical consensus from a truth so revolutionary it could shatter our entire understanding of the human story? This brings us back to the ultimate question, the one that echoes in the stone heart of this colossal beast. What secrets does the Sphinx truly guard? Finding a Hall of Records would be more than just the archaeological find of the millennium. It would be a paradigm shift for all humanity. Imagine discovering texts that detail lost sciences, a deeper understanding of physics and consciousness, or a map of our planet from a time before the last ice age. It would prove that we are a species with amnesia, that our civilization is not the pinnacle of human achievement, but merely the latest in a long, forgotten cycle of rise and fall. The implications are staggering. The debate rages on, not just in academic journals but right here, in this community of explorers. And this is where the investigation continues, with you. What do you think? Do you side with the geologists believing the water erosion is undeniable proof of a much older Sphinx? Does the celestial precision of the Orion correlation theory convince you that ancient architects had a knowledge of the cosmos we are only now beginning to appreciate? Or do you believe the answer lies in the realm of the esoteric, with the prophetic visions of a lost golden age? Let's turn the comment section into our own Hall of Records. I want to read every theory, every piece of evidence you found compelling. This quest does not end in Egypt. The Sphinx is one giant clue in a global breadcrumb trail of mystery. If you believe there is more to our past than we're being told, if you feel that pull towards the unknown, then I invite you to join this expedition. Hit that like button if you want to continue these deep dives, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss what's next. Our next journey will take us from the sands of Africa to the high-altitude plains of South America, to a place that shatters all conventional timelines, Puma Punku. There we will investigate megalithic stones cut with a precision that seems to defy the tools of the Bronze Age. The Great Sphinx continues to guard its secrets, its gaze fixed on a horizon we can no longer see. But how long can they stay buried when so many are now searching? The riddle remains, but the search for the answer has brought us together, and our journey has only just begun.